Hi, my name is Helen. This is my medium plot in Bristol, and this is my July plot tour. Come and have a look. So, as we come into my plot, my poor flower bed. It's got some weeds in it, some popper plants, but I do need to work on it. This first bed here is main crop potatoes. They're looking okay, no signs of blight yet. Next we have an utter failure. This was my onion bed. They never did well. The fox kept digging them up, so I've given up on them. This next bed is potatoes. As you can see, they've flopped everywhere. Some of them on one side look like they're just about ready, but I'll leave them a little bit longer before I dig them up. In here, let's see if I can pull the net up. Yeah, it's a bit hard. Let's come back. In here are my leeks. They're growing well. Let's go a bit closer. So, doing quite well. I've lost a few, but most of them survived. There's a few weeds here, but that's because there's an ant's nest. Here are my butternut squash. They've actually taken off. If you see here, some of them are starting to grow. What I've tied them to is not the best. I've had to tie string to stop them falling over. So this winter, I will be making them stronger. Whereas this butternut squash is not doing well. It's only just started to get going. I think this sort is a different name butternut to this. So I want to find out what this is and grow that next year. Here we have my Swiss chard. It's growing okay, but some of it's gone to seed. Over here we have a whole bed of carrots. And on the end here, we have calendula. I think I need to start thinning some out. Here we have the carrot bed. I think I need to maybe do some thinning and see if there's any ready to harvest. On the end, squished in is some calendula, but since I netted it, the calendula's a bit squished. On here we have, I think it's some French beans, green beans, like that. They took a long time to get going, but they have just about reached the top. Here is my sorry parsnip bed. I think, counting them up, there is a total of about 18 parsnips, that's it. So they didn't do well this year. Next, we have cabbages. You think, oh, that's a lot of nice green. Problem is, they are decimated by the slugs. I need to find a way to stop the slugs making holes in everything. Here we have some lovely nasturtiums. In this bed, I think it is calabrese, so the normal broccoli. And I've had small heads, but nothing particularly great from them. This is the end area that I've yet to work on. I've weeded it. I've sorted through the weeds, but it's still got some construction to be done. Over here, we have my sweet corn. It's not the tallest, but at least there are cobs. And some of the hairy things on the end have gone dark. Now, when do I harvest them? Because a couple of years ago I grew sweet corn and I left it too long and it was tough and it wasn't nice. So are they ready? What signs do I have to wait for? In here, I think I have calets. And I'm just trying to remember. I don't think it's purple sprouting broccoli, but it's some other brassica. Sorry for not pulling the nets up, but I don't want the butterflies to get in. Here we have my other flower bed that has the pond in it. Yes, I know I need to pull some weeds out and it's a bit covered at the moment. It's gone a bit wild. There's vineweed strangling stuff, but the bees love it. And here we have, I think it might be Brussels sprouts, and on this side I have Cavolo Nero. Actually I think it's Nero di Tosca, but the kind of kale that you can eat and it grows all through winter. Now here are my urkikuri squash. Quite a difference from last month. I've spent ages tying them in. We also have some purple, is it Kingholm? French climbing beans, I think. But with this urkikuri, I have fruits already formed. There's obviously more forming, but there is one in here that's already going a darker colour. So I need to check what colour it is when I need to harvest, because I don't want to leave it too long. Here we have, I think it might be Atlantic giant pumpkin. I know it's not big, but at least it's growing now. And there's at least one little pumpkin growing. Here we have my one and only courgette plant. I'm picking them every other day so that they don't get too big. This is my sad strawberry patch that will be pulled out and replaced with fresh plants this year. This is the bed I redid. It's got calendula at the end, so that's sending out runners. But hopefully next year I will get more strawberries due to those being new plants. Over here the peas have just about finished. They never did that great. Here is some swede. I think I need to net it because it's getting eaten probably by slugs, but it wouldn't surprise me if it's birds. Here are some dwarf French beans. They're the sort that is a yellow colour. My sugar snap, which was Monge 2 Oregon sugar, has just about had it. So they have been quite yummy. Okay, we've still got the odd one, but I've been eating them on the plot. Here, it's my not Loganberry, Tayberries. But unfortunately, this is a bit wobbly, so I need to strengthen it so the whole thing doesn't fall over. Over here, oh dear, too much vineweed, but there are some gooseberry plants. That's a old cherry tree. Black currants have been wonderful this year, but they're getting swallowed by the vineweed. This is my autumn fruiting raspberries. Most of them didn't survive transplanting, but I've got some there. And the summer fruiting have all but finished. Again, got vineweed that needs controlling. And here, I think these were red currants. I never did pick them, but I might take out those plants this winter because it's just too close to the shed. And we're back to the gate. So that is my whole plot, long and thin. Thank you for watching. I forgot to film this. I do have some cucumbers growing. They're just not looking particularly happy. We'll see if anything grows that's edible. So I managed to work out what the butternut squash beds were. And I have 2 packets of seeds. I have Unwin's winter squash, Hunter F1, and Wilco's butternut butterfly F1. Now the bed that's not doing so well, that was actually the Unwin's, and the butternut squash that has grown to the top, that was actually the Wilco butterfly F1, which was only £1.50 a packet. So the cheaper seed is actually doing well, doing the best. So I found this out because I watched back over my May plot tour, and that recorded when I was planting out the Hunter. So I'm quite happy that I found out which was which. So I've made sure I've written it down on my bed plan, and I've actually written down the type of butternut that's on there, so that should help me remember for next year. So I never did finish building raised beds in my back garden. I have the 6 small pallet collar size ones, but here is what the rest of it looks like. It's my greenhouse and my garden. With this back bit I've covered in black plastic just so it doesn't get out of hand, and hopefully over winter I can build more beds. These are my winter cabbages that I've sown. Some of them have come up, others haven't. Hopefully the slugs won't eat everything. Has anybody else's strawberries done this? Decided to put out more flowers? I think it's because the weather's been all over the place. Does anybody know why my plums keep going like this? Also, if I come over to these, they have a shiny bit on one side. I don't know if you can see there. Is that some bug that's got in? I'm not sure. So here's the back part of the garden. Here are some tomatoes and pumpkins. A grapevine over in the corner there. And the rest of this needs to be worked on. And then over here is the 6 small pallet collar beds. You can't see much of the path. That little bed over there has got lettuce in. And then over here is my garden. Not looking at its best, but it's a work in progress. But I've got to split my time between the allotment and the garden and the family. Happy gardening.